Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about why I own clothes that I do not actually love, even though I have an extreme minimalist wardrobe. If you want to see the video about where I talk about my minimalist wardrobe and show you every piece I own, I'll link you up here. But this video is actually because I got a lot of comments on this video where people said, why do you keep clothes you don't love? You have such a limited amount of items. Why don't you just have things you love? Why do you keep things you're not happy with? And that got me thinking because it's not totally wrong. Marie Kondo says that and other people say that as well. When you move towards minimalism and declutter all of your items, try to keep your favorite items. Wouldn't it be nice, wouldn't it be great to wear your favorite items of clothing every day? And that sounds amazing, and it is exactly what I did when I decluttered my closet. So when I was around 20 and became a minimalist, I decluttered my closet from I think it was around 160 pieces down to 40 pieces back then, or 50, and now it's 15 or something, depending on how you count. Again, you can watch the video and count for yourself if you want to know that. But when I decluttered my closet, I just kept what I liked best. So I got rid of all of the things that did not fit me, that I did not like that much, that were not my style, that were not useful, that I didn't reach for when I was getting dressed. And I was left with my favorite items. Over the past 5 years, where I decluttered more and more, I cut the items I keep in my closet in half again. Right now, I'm pretty much at the minimum possible for my life. I mean, I have 4 t-shirts, I have 3 pair of pants and 1 shorts. I have only 3 sweatshirt, pullover, sweater things, and I have only 1 jacket, I have only 1 backpack, I have only 3 pairs of shoes. I think that is quite minimal. So one comment I did not understand was a person that said, why don't you just declutter the things you don't like? Yeah, when I would declutter these, there's nothing left. But let's get to the comments that were more about, why do I have pieces that I am not entirely happy with? And now that has to do with 2 different things, I think. The first thing that is maybe a little bit more obvious is that one of my most important values for my life is sustainability. So I try to keep my life, and of course also my wardrobe, as sustainable as possible. Since I am a full-time student and mom living in a very expensive city, I do not have and I'm not willing to spend that much money on clothing items. So I get about 95% of my clothing secondhand. The last 5% I get new, which is mostly just underwear that I do not want to get secondhand. With secondhand shopping in a very expensive city, at least here, that also means that a pair of jeans, for example, costs around 25 euros. There are, of course, maybe shops where you can get it for cheaper, but I couldn't find any, because if you search it online, there are just all of these highly curated vintage shops online, and the city is too big for me to find all of the stores. In the future, I hope to find more, and there are always these online marketplaces where you can buy and sell things where it's cheaper. But one of the clothing items I wanted to talk about is the pair of jeans I own. So the first thing I want to say about that is I only have 1 pair of jeans. And most of you, I think, have more. And I think everybody should totally do what's best for them. For the time I had 5 or 10 pairs of jeans, I had maybe 2 favorites. And for the 2 favorites, for one I liked because I liked the color, the other I liked because I liked the cut, but maybe the one that had the nicer cut, the pockets were not ideal because they were not as deep, which happens a lot with women's jeans, that they do not have real pockets, and that's really annoying. But so there are always, at least I think with 99% of clothing items, there are pros and cons to it. And that is exactly what happens to my clothing items as well. Now, I have a very minimalist wardrobe, and now we come to the second point. I only have 1 of most of the things I own. I have 1 pair of shorts, I have 1 backpack, I have 1 pair of sandals, I have 1 pair of jeans, I have 1 pair of sweatpants, I have 1 hoodie. So the one I have kind of has to be perfect. And if I end up finding the perfect one, I wear it all the time. Since I only have 3 sweaters, that also means it will fall apart sooner. I can show you how the sweater looks at my hands. It's starting to fall apart and I am going to fix it. I haven't had that sweater for that long. Now, I picked it up at a clothing swap 2 years ago, but I think a lot of people, especially if you try to be sustainable when it comes to clothing items, you try to keep your items for more like 10 years and not only 2 years. And so if I find a piece that is really perfect, it will not last that long because then it has to go again because I can't wear it anymore. I think, and you can totally think something else, but I think it's quite normal to not be in love with all the pieces you own. And I also think that your needs and your style and your pieces change over time. So keeping your wardrobe at a perfect state at all time is really almost impossible. Because I have only one thing, I want it to be perfect. Because I try to buy it sustainably, that means I am on the hunt for a perfect piece secondhand, and that is sometimes a journey. That sometimes takes 2 years until I find a perfect piece. During that time, if I even had a perfect piece, that piece is not perfect anymore because it's worn down to an extent where I can't really wear it anymore. So I think my wardrobe is in a constant change, and I have to say I love change. I have nothing against change, and I am bored if there's nothing changing. I am perfectly happy with my wardrobe the way it is, even though, as you are totally right who commented these things, I am not happy with all of the pieces I have. But I think the bar for I'm happy with this piece rises with the number of things I declutter. If I have 10 pairs of jeans, I am totally okay if I like something about each of them and if there's something wrong with each of them. But if I only have one, I really want that one to be perfect. What I wanted to talk about as well is, for example, colors. The colors I like to have in my wardrobe have changed. So now I'm slowly exchanging all the pieces I have that have like colder colors. Blue, for example, navy is something I do not want to have in my wardrobe anymore because I think it doesn't look good with my skin. And so I'm decluttering them, but also I'm always exchanging the pieces. So I can't just declutter all of them because then I'm left with not enough clothing items, like really not enough. But I am looking for things secondhand, and especially during a pandemic, especially because for a lot of pieces I like to try them on. I'm not able to go into stores in person, so that process of exchanging my clothing items to what I want my wardrobe to be now is slower. And that means that I have never a perfect wardrobe. And in the past I thought I will get there one day. I thought one day I will have the perfect wardrobe. And maybe some people also think that if I'm making a video where I show everything I own in my minimalist wardrobe, that is a moment where my wardrobe is perfect, but it's not. It's just one day in the journey of my life, of my wardrobe. I think there would not be a point in waiting until my wardrobe is perfect in order to show it to you. And I made my first wardrobe videos about 8 months ago, and I will link it up here as well so that you can watch it if you want. And you can see that a lot of things have already changed from that first wardrobe tour to the second. And I'm actually planning on doing another wardrobe tour in half a year or so to just show you how it develops and how it changes, and always share my thoughts about the items I have, why I like them, why I do not like them. Maybe you also think now, why do I have such a limited amount of clothing items? Why don't I just have more like a lot of other people, and then I'm maybe not happy with all of them, but at least it's okay? Well, I think it's still making me happier, or it's still making my life easier when I have such a limited amount of pieces. And I do like my pieces. And now I want to come to a very, very important point as well. Fashion for me is not the same as it is for other people maybe. I do always try to be comfortable in my clothing items. I also want to have clothing items that I think are beautiful, that I think I look good in, but that might just not be the same thing that you are looking for in clothing items. I don't care because it has to make me happy. And I think I'm attached to a certain point to my clothing items because they have to fulfill these qualities. They have to be adding value to my life, they have to be helpful to my life, and they have to make my life easier. But on the other hand, I really want to suggest that we move away from being so focused on fashion. I do not want to offend anybody. I think everybody can do whatever they want with their wardrobe. That is what I try to do for myself. I try to be as sustainable as possible. I try to have my life as simple as possible. I want my clothes to support my lifestyle, and I am not attached to the point where I think all of my clothes have to make me completely happy or have to be perfect. But still, I am looking for the perfect pieces because they would make my life even easier, would be even nicer, would support me even more. So these are the reasons why I keep clothes that I am not completely in love with. I will for sure let you know if I'll ever reach a point where I say that I'm 100% satisfied with all of the pieces I have in my wardrobe. And if you have a wardrobe like that, please share your tips and let me know how you got that wardrobe, how you were able to achieve a wardrobe where you're 100% satisfied. Also, I have to say, even if I'm not happy about all of my clothing items, even if there are some things I wish were different, if I want to exchange some pieces, I am happy with my clothing items. I am super happy with my wardrobe because it is so much better than all of my wardrobes were before that. When I was a kid, I had always things I didn't like about my wardrobe. When I was a teenager, I had a huge amount of things that I was not happy about when it came to my clothes. And as a young adult, it was difficult as well. And now slowly for the past few years, I've become more and more happy and more content and more in line, and just I know better what I want, and that is reflecting in my wardrobe. And so I'm super happy with the wardrobe I have right now, even though I'm not happy with each individual piece 100%. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos, I'll link you a video and a playlist right here, and I hope to see you next time. Be sure to leave a comment on what you think about this topic, and if you want to let me know how your wardrobe is or what you are looking for when you buy or bring clothes or curate your wardrobe. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!